Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive. You guys sent in this amazing Reddit post, and we're going to take a look at it today.
Yeah, from the AITA subreddit.
Yes, exactly.
Am I the a-hole?
It's juicy.
It is. It is.
It really is.
This one is all about a husband who's questioning whether he's overreacting to his wife's behavior at a party. But there's a lot more to unpack here.
Yeah, so give us kind of the overview of this situation.
Okay, so basically we've got a husband and wife. They're at a party for a friend, a celebration of life, actually, at a bar. And the husband is noticing some red flags with his wife's behavior.
Red flags right away.
Pretty early on, yeah. So she goes outside to have a smoke and ends up giving this random guy her number.
Without telling her husband.
Yeah, without mentioning it to him. But she does whisper talk to her friends about this hot guy she met outside. So already, like, right off the bat, you're like,
Okay, yeah, that's
a
not,
little sus,
yeah, not a good.
Not a good sign. And then the next evening, they're driving home, and she's, like, texting someone, like, frantically hiding her phone every time he glances over.
Oh, she's being sneaky.
Super sneaky. She claims it's just a friend, but he sees her, like, switching between conversations, so, like, he's getting more and more suspicious.
Yeah, I'd be suspicious, too, at this point.
Right. And then it gets even crazier. They get home. She's like, I'm going to listen to music before bed. And 3 hours later, he's like half asleep. She finally comes to bed. But before that, she spends like 30 minutes in the bathroom with her phone and some new lingerie she tries to hide when she comes out.
Okay, this is sounding like a movie now.
It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
So the next morning, he's feeling obviously completely overwhelmed, confused. He checks her phone and finds these flirty texts with this mystery guy. Like she's sending pictures, asking for pics back, even calling him gorgeous with a heart eyes emoji.
Oh, no, the emoji.
The emojis,
Those are so telling.
they are so telling, right?
So he confronts her about it.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I was drunk. I don't remember anything. It was just harmless flirting for attention.
But she gave the guy her number when she was sober. Exactly. And she was hiding her texts in the car sober. So, like, the timeline is not adding up.
Right. There's some holes in that story.
Major holes. And to make matters worse, she deleted the guy's messages and contact info after the confrontation.
Damage control.
Total damage control. So now he's torn between, like, anger confusion. He turns to Reddit with a simple question. AITA for being upset and staying away from home.
He went to Reddit.
He went to Reddit
to
but
ask if he's the a-hole.
Yes, and the Reddit community did not disappoint, let me tell you.
I bet they had a lot to say.
Oh, they had thoughts.
So we're going to dive into those reactions in the next part of our deep dive.
We are, and we're going to dissect the psychology behind infidelity trust and the impact of alcohol on decision-making. It's going to be good.
This is fascinating already. And hey, if you're enjoying this deep dive so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share it with your friends.
And for even more thought-provoking content, make sure to check out Shauna Pelage on YouTube. We love exploring these topics, and we appreciate your support in helping us reach a wider audience.
Okay, let's get back to this Reddit post because things are about to get really interesting. So the Reddit comments on this one, oh my gosh.
Wild.
It's like a whole other layer of drama.
It is a whole other layer, and there's so much to unpack there, too, because you've got people who are like 100% team husband.
Yeah, they're furious.
Oh, they're so angry. They're like, this is a clear betrayal of trust, even if it didn't go any further than the texts. Like, she's disrespecting the marriage.
There were some pretty harsh comments.
Oh, yeah. People were not holding back. Some were even saying, like, talk to a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's intense. But then on the other hand, you have this whole other group of commenters who are like, whoa, hold up. Is this even real?
Yeah, I saw some of those too. Like, they think it's fake.
Right. They're questioning the authenticity of the whole thing. Like, why would you air your dirty laundry on Reddit for strangers?
It does seem a little dramatic.
It does, right? Like, maybe it's just a made-up story for attention or something. Who knows?
And then there were some comments that kind of offered a different perspective on the situation.
Yeah, like trying to read between the lines.
Exactly. There was one that I thought was really interesting. It said the messages probably ended abruptly because she sent lingerie pics and then deleted that part of the conversation.
Ooh, spicy.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of people were agreeing with that theory.
Because it would explain why she was in the bathroom for so long with the lingerie.
Exactly. Like maybe she was trying to cover her tracks.
Because you wonder what else she might be hiding.
Right. We're only getting a tiny glimpse into this whole relationship drama. There could be so much more to the story.
Totally. And another thing that kept popping up in the comments was the whole alcohol thing.
Oh, yeah. Her go-to excuse.
Right. Like she blames being drunk for everything.
Yeah.
One comment even said, does she have a drinking problem?
It makes you think, right? Like, is alcohol really the root of the issue here, or is it just a convenient scapegoat?
Yeah, it's easy to blame it on the booze, but is that really the whole story?
Exactly. It's something to consider and maybe even reflect on in your own life, too.
That's a good point.
Like, have you ever been in a situation where alcohol was used as an excuse for bad behavior?
This whole deep dive is making me question so much about relationships and trust.
It really is. It's like we're all holding a mirror up to ourselves and asking, what would I do in this situation?
It's a tangled web.
It really is a tangled web of emotions and suspicions and conflicting perspectives, and it just shows you how fragile relationships can be.
And how important communication is.
Absolutely, both online and offline. But even with all the communication in the world, can you ever truly know everything that's going on in your partner's mind?
That's a deep question.
It is a deep question, and that's no easy answer.
This is heavy stuff.
It is, but I think it's important to talk about it.
So in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to explore the psychology of infidelity even more.
Yes, we'll talk about the dynamics of trust and betrayal, and maybe even offer some insights into building healthier relationships.
This is going to be good, so stay tuned. All right, so we've got the story. We've got all those intense Reddit comments. But, like, what's the underlying why here? Like, why would she do this, especially if she's saying it was just for attention?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And there's not always a simple answer when it comes to infidelity, but one way to look at it is through this thing called attachment theory.
Attachment theory.
Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but give me the, like, quick rundown.
Okay, so basically it suggests that, like, our early childhood experiences really shape how we connect with people in relationships as adults.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So someone who has what's called an insecure attachment style, they might be constantly looking for validation and reassurance from their partner.
So maybe she was seeking attention outside the marriage because she wasn't getting what she needed at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's possible she was feeling emotionally neglected or just insecure in her relationship, and so she went looking for that connection somewhere else, even if it was, not the best way to go about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But then there's the whole alcohol thing, too. She keeps saying she was drunk and doesn't remember. Can we really just blame it on the booze?
That's where it gets tricky, right?
Yeah.
Because alcohol definitely lowers inhibitions and can make us do things we wouldn't normally do. But at the end of the day, we're still responsible for our choices.
And it's not like she just made one little mistake. She went to a lot of trouble to hide what she was doing before and after.
Yeah, that's what makes it seem like there was more to it than just being drunk and messing up. It feels deliberate.
So it's not just about the alcohol. It's about the choices she made.
And the fact that she tried to manipulate the situation afterward.
Oh, you're talking about gaslighting, right?
Exactly. Remember we talked about that earlier?
Yeah. For those who might not know, can you explain what gaslighting is again?
Sure. So it's basically a form of manipulation where someone tries to make you doubt your own memories and perceptions, like they're trying to convince you that you're crazy or overreacting.
So in this case, she's trying to make him think he has no reason to be upset.
Right. She's twisting the narrative to avoid taking responsibility for her actions.
That's messed up.
It is, and it's super damaging to a relationship because trust is built on honesty. And when you start gaslighting your partner, you're basically breaking down that foundation of trust.
And rebuilding trust after something like this is tough, right?
It can be really tough. It takes a lot of work from both people. But I'm curious what you think. Like, can couples really recover from infidelity?
I don't know. It seems like such a huge betrayal.
Yeah, the research is actually kind of mixed on that. Some studies say that couples can heal and rebuild their relationship after infidelity, but it takes a ton of effort, communication, forgiveness, sometimes even therapy.
Wow. So it's possible, but not easy.
Exactly. And sometimes the damage is just too deep to fully repair.
This whole Reddit story and all the comments, it just highlights how complicated these situations are.
It really does. There's no easy answers, no right or wrong way to handle it.
But even with all the different opinions, I think there are some good takeaways here for everyone listening.
Totally. Like, this situation shows us how crucial open and honest communication is in any relationship.
If you're not happy, if you're feeling neglected, talk to your partner.
Don't try to get those needs met somewhere else. It's only going to lead to more problems down the road.
And remember, we all make mistakes. The important thing is to own up to them, communicate, and be willing to put in the work to fix things.
So much wisdom in that.
This deep dive has been a wild ride. It's made me think a lot about trust betrayal and just how complicated modern relationships can be.
And we hope it's given you some things to think about, too.
Definitely. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you subscribe to Voices of the Soul and check out Shauna Pelage on YouTube for even more thought-provoking content.
We love exploring these topics with you.
Until next time, keep those deep dive requests coming, and thanks for listening.